I recently got the Tynee Soft Wheels, their new 105mm 72A durometer wheels, which are essentially the boosted wheels rebranded as they're from the same factory. Overall, my main goal for these wheels was comfort and grip, and it's delivered on this in spades. The install was fairly easy. The only minor inconvenience was the wheels and pulleys came without the bearings and spacers installed. For the most part, the bearings were easy to install except for the pulley bearings, which was a bit of a nightmare, but eventually we got there. Once everything was in place, the install progressed smoothly, and the only issue that I really encountered was that one wheel bearing, off I guess the front wheel in this case, was a little loose. And it didn't take much to fall out. But once everything was bolted up and put in place, not an issue and everything is smooth sailing. Comfort is one of the biggest features of this wheel, and it is incredible compared to 90mm polyurethane wheels and the previous Tynee Hydro wheels which I was using. They're fantastic at soaking up cracks, bumps, corrugations on the pavement, and gives you a real smooth and enjoyable ride. What's even more impressive for me is that they remain comfortable even when I was taking it off-road, which I really shouldn't have, because then all sorts of stuff got into my gears and belts. The 105mm size combined with the 72A durometer material and the holes that were drilled in the wheels give it an added flex and contribute to the fantastic levels of comfort that I get out of them. It's gotten to the point where the corrugations in the foot parts or the pavements or the parts, it doesn't register as it used to. And yesterday when I was on a ride, I was wondering what's that bumping feeling, which I thought there was something maybe wrong with my wheels or the gears or something was stuck. Turns out it was just the pavement. I found the braking performance to be noticeably improved when coming to a stop from higher speeds, but at lower speeds the braking was a bit slower than I would like it to be and was more on the par with the Tynee Hydro wheels. Despite this, the overall braking performance is reliable and gives you a lot of confidence in what you are trying to do if you need to brake in a hurry. I think this is mainly down to the softness of the wheels and the slicks type design of the wheel, and I would not rely on these in the wet at all. As for acceleration, I noticed a small reduction compared to what I'm assuming I remember from the Tynee Hydro wheels, but once it gets going, the acceleration is still pretty responsive and pretty smooth. Rolling resistance is one thing I picked up on very early with these wheels, and it's very noticeable. Whether you just let off the throttle and you feel the deceleration immediately, it's not extreme, but it is clearly noticeable and you can factor it into your riding if you are so inclined. I noticed that even dragging the board around across certain crossings, which are usually pretty busy and a bit uneven, the board was fighting me a lot more than it would with, say, the 90mm stock wheels or the 105 Hydro wheels. The obvious drawback with this is the hit to range and the excess battery draw it needs. In terms of grip, these wheels offer simply outstanding levels of grip. Carving around comfortably at 25 km an hour felt effortless and completely predictable and safe. The wheels held firm on the road surface and gave you a good sense of stability and control that I'm pretty sure any one of us could appreciate. At the end of the day, the Tynee Soft Wheels are a fantastic choice for riders looking for exceptional grip, comfort, and riding experience. The install process, depending on whether you get the bearings and spacers fitted beforehand or whether you have to do it yourself, will add a little bit of inconvenience, but it's nothing big at the end of the day. The install is usually smooth and hassle-free. The wheels excel in comfort, handling, and rough terrain. It brakes well from high speeds. It provides excellent grip, and the rolling resistance might take some getting used to. It eventually proves to be something that I've enjoyed greatly and have not regretted purchasing at all, and I think this will become my new standard for wheels. I don't see myself going back to any others, especially the Hydro wheels. Despite them being a good wheel, I don't ride in the wet because I don't like to clean up afterwards, so this wheel seems like the perfect wheel for me. If you're looking to upgrade your wheels, I highly recommend giving the Tynee Soft Wheels a go, though given that they are from the same factory as the boosted wheels, get this type of wheel wherever is cheapest for you.